The digital world moves fast, but real growth comes from real conversations. This is e-Coffee with Experts, where marketers and founders share what's actually working in SEO, AI, and digital growth. Grab your coffee and fuel your mind as we chat with top minds about their wins, struggles, and lessons you won't find in a blog post. Brought to you by Digital Web Solutions, we bring real talk to help you grow your business, one episode at a time. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, this is Victor with Coffee with Experts. And today, for you, Magenta and Shopify people who are looking for e-commerce solutions and are looking to expand further your website, I brought you here the founder of Wide Group, Anton Zhuk, who is a very nice guy and understands a lot about Portuguese cuisine, which you know is very much important nowadays. You all know how much I love my francesinhas. But alas, the conversation today will be about how Wide Group, Anton's company, can help you boost your website, especially in the e-commerce area. Anton, my friend, how are you doing? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, hello, Victor. I'm pretty much fine. Thank you for the invitation. So it's almost the first experience for recording a session like that. So looking forward not to fail a lot and
Nah, you're
to
not.
and to make sure I am not like under promote and over promote myself as I can do on the sales calls.
Don't you worry, this is the perfect place. Imagine this as a sales call at the end of the day, you know. It's
No
just
problem.
that I'm not the lead. The lead are those that are watching us. But naturally, being a sales guy myself, I always like to make sure that those that are making business with me understand who I am. Like I like to tell them that I'm Brazilian, that I like to eat, that I have popcorn, my dog, around all the time. But what about you? Usually when you are starting your sales meetings or when you're introducing yourself to people, what are the things that you say? Because I do know, for example, that you come from a family of engineers and that this shaped a lot of things and a lot of the ways that you think right now. I also know that you're based in Kiev. Kiev is the place that you're living in right now, right?
No, actually, we are not from Kiev. We are from Zaporizhia, so to the
Sorry.
southeast, no problems. We are visiting Kiev a lot, so and I really like Kiev, and I studied at the university in Kiev, so got my engineering degree
Ah,
like with
okay.
excellence. Like I can't avoid that. So yeah, actually, on my sales calls, what I speak is usually about the thing that, okay, I don't want to oversell myself if I say that
Perfect.
we can't benefit a lot. You can benefit a lot from cooperation with us. I will only outline what useful can we bring to your business. And this postpones the exponential growth of the company of that I rule that I have founded more than 10 years ago with my wife, and we are still in business together. She's to the marketing of side of things. I'm for sales and architectural because I'm really a technical person. But unlike most technical persons, I actually can speak normally with people business wise and sales wise. And I think that the key value we bring to the businesses is actually the engineering and logical understanding of the e-commerce and not copy pasting solutions from jewelry website to the furniture website, because like we get into your buyer persona, we get into the niche, the price level of your products, your positioning, your geography. We understand that, and actually all the marketing companies does that, but we mostly the technical company, and we see that applying this logical engineering attitude is really crucial. So I have the technical education, and I think that it gives this engineering approach to solving both marketing and both technical questions. That's what we think we can provide to our clients.
I agree. We back in the day, a lot of companies were putting the strategy of one fits all. Right? So I know that a fashion e-commerce website does X and Y and Z. So let me put that for, I don't know, a rental website. And it's not the case anymore. We know
Yeah.
this. But first of all, let me ask you, what made you and your wife, this is a very nice story, by the way, but what made you and your wife dive into e-commerce? How it all started and why was, Shopify and Magento the technology that you decided to push yourself further into?
Yeah, we actually started mostly from having some kind of a small e-commerce enterprise. It's really like one or two people were involved into that. It was related to hobbies of around some kind of football supporters and the products available and needed for them. It was before 2000. It started before 2010, so I was like almost a monopolist here. So this part, we started the e-commerce. We were selling products, but again, getting back 5 years ago when I was graduating from the high school, I was deeply interested in informatics, in web development. It was 2005, so especially in Ukraine, there were no like thousands of jobs related to it, and I was interested in that. And then being a student, wanted to get some additional money to avoid parents support. I started that business. I started the path to e-commerce from the business side, and that made me understand these needs, technical needs from that side. So I recap from time to time that needs when I develop something for my clients. So I can imagine myself on, like, let's say, from that point. And it's helpful. And our clients, most of them are during more than a couple of years with us, and we support them on the longer perspective. So, and they see it. It's difficult to sell it from the first weeks or months because, like, when somebody is selling to you, they can speak whatever needed to sell. But yeah, that's how I see it. So, but after the months, they understand this better.
I see. This is something what you said right now. Even in my meetings, I usually tell those that are talking to me, like, hey, I know I just said wonderful things. I'm a sales guy. I need to say the wonderful things first. But I'd like you to really try for yourself and see for yourself and let me know in regards to feedback what you thought about it. So I understand what you're saying, and people are valuing a lot of the, how can I say, for many years, sales people were seen as detrimental to the market. They were seen as liars, as, people just trying to rob money out of you, take money out
Yes.
of you. And when I started becoming a sales guy in 2019, I remember me talking back then to my girlfriend, who's now my wife, like, hey, honey, I don't know if I should present myself as a sales guy because whenever I say that, people look at me like, oh my God, another sales guy. So I did what I think was the best decision ever, which was to start already by saying the flaws that the system had, the flaws that they could face in the future, to set expectations correct, like so that they understand that I'm not perfect. Even though I'm going to say nice things, I know that the solution that I'm selling is not perfect and it has its flaws. And this is the question that I would like to ask you. Ever since your beginning until to this day, I imagine that you went through some surprises while talking to some of your customers starting their website or starting the development of those websites. And these issues may be presented even to this day. Not your fault, you see, but like issues that down the line they are looking, they are facing, they are taking a look at every single day. So let me ask you this. What were some of those surprises or some of those issues that you found? And how does White Group manage to solve them?
So we are saying now about issues with which we faced to assist our clients better, right?
Yes, exactly.
It's actually something that we have learned during first couple years of our business. It's actually to be as transparent as we can. And I think we never lost a client when we said that this is the issue that we almost faced the first time. We Googled and nobody else is sharing their experience. So definitely there are other agencies on the market who already solved that. But even we were specialists in web development. We didn't find those who promote they can solve this particular question, but we have these two or three assumptions, and we will work on them. Most of the clients, even during first months of the cooperation, I'm speaking mostly about the support projects, not the delivery one, and most of them really value this transparency and fair approach. So that because 9 from 10 wouldn't to them, they would just say, okay, like a couple of hours or a couple of days, and we would solve. So that's the thing that helps you to to solve issues and to set proper expectations. I would say that based on many situations we saw, this is the key thing, because again, if the client is not the one who is ready to accept this fair approach and will start running and looking for somebody else, I'm just saying, guys, we didn't find the one who will solve it based on shared experience before. It means that you will just find the company that will say they are able to solve, but most probably they will be getting into the project and then solving. We would rather do it faster. So that's what happens.
And even you said so a few seconds ago, where you have a lot of agencies nowadays. This is a problem that we face as well.
Mhm.
Competition is very big, especially after COVID, after a lot of companies went even
Mhm.
further down the online era. But how do you make sure that you are standing out and that you are, being found over on the internet?
I think that we have started to invest a significant amount of profit into the SEO and having inbound leads. I would say that during last year there are few leads, so the situation became worse for us. But the good thing for us, we started our business in 2014, so didn't start it 2018 or 20. That's the
Okay.
first good thing for us.
Yeah, it
And we
is.
started the inbound activity in 2016 or 17 to do it actively, and that helped a lot. So our domain has this authority level, though I would complain that I would want to have more leads today from the
Always.
website than we have today, but it's the reality, and I'm the fair person. I think that all our partners are happy to hear the fair things, and this is a proper cooperation between us then. So I'm not afraid of saying that we are not like, there is not a queue of 3 months before we start work
Mhm.
project. No, today the reality is different. During
Uh-huh.
COVID 2021, 2022, the situation was different in a better way for us. But today we are loaded, but we can put into the queue and start soon.
Makes sense. And now thinking about it, once people get to you, as you said, you have your SEO strategies, you have everything to make sure that those inbound leads come through. Once they start talking to you, maybe some of them already understand that you are an engineer at the end of the day, right? Does this change anything in regards to the credibility that you put in the market? Because you see, I'm asking this because my father, one of the most key people in my entire life, he is an engineer as well. So whenever I
Mhm.
am talking to another engineer, I put myself into this maybe kids shoe where I'm very much respecting the engineer because I know how tough it is to be an engineer
Mhm.
based on my father's experience. Whenever I am on the other side talking to an engineer, it gives that guy a higher authority
Mhm.
overall if compared to, I don't know, a business person, a marketing person, which is what I am. I am graduated in marketing, so I'm not talking bad about those people. I am the same level. But is this something that you leverage nowadays? Like being an engineer, knowing about Shopify and Magento, knowing about the ins and outs of e-commerces. Is this something that does these partners that you have also like to understand? Oh, I'm talking to an engineer, or it doesn't make too much difference nowadays?
Let's say our company is more like a boutique agency, so I don't have this alone huge number of
Mm,
statistics. I would say what makes us good working with small and medium business, but not so good working with large business. Actually, we almost have no clients really from corporations. And I think that this engineering approach, when you speak to people really interested in getting the results, really not so afraid of hiring the small Ukrainian boutique agency to fix their needs, but when they on the sales call, when they listen the expertise from the niche, expertise from technical and business perspective, when they listen two, three similar cases, similar not from the single side, but from different sides similar to their cases, I think that usually people who are like on C level in their small or medium enterprise or like 1 or 2 levels below,
mhm.
they understand that, okay, these guys seems very relevant. And as soon as they are ready to accept the fact that, oh, it's like we have some like risks hiring not so well reputed or like well known company from Ukraine, but these guys are relevant. These guys are about technical things and don't oversell their development team or maybe their set of freelancers working for them. Okay, these are different. This builds an approach. And as soon as you face the one who is more from technical side, who came to business position and they understand this logical thinking and my accuracy in numbers, because I never like speak about like you can say like most probably or like almost never happens, but I don't say no, it never happens, like zero probability. No, like when you are from engineering perspective and you have that 10 plus years of experience, then you are very accurate about numbers. So that's what I'm particular about.
Nice, nice, very nice to know. Well, let us start now going more technical, talking more about White
Mhm,
Group and the technology that you use, because at least I think we got a very good picture about who you are and why does it matter that you are on the front end of White
mhm,
Group. So my first question, because as I said before, we have a lot of people watching us that understand exactly what you're doing, but we also have those who doesn't. And
mhm,
for some, they don't understand the factors and the need to optimize any Shopify or Magento store.
mhm.
They don't understand how such optimizations can turn into higher conversions. So walk them through it. What's the importance of making sure that your website, especially e-commerce one, a store one, is optimizing those two technologies? I understand it's either one or the other, but what do you tell them about the importance of making sure that companies like White Group exist?
Okay, so I would say that during last year, the key issue all the e-commerce businesses face is the price for paid advertising and for getting visitors that would be converted to
High quality leads, right?
the customer. And at this point, there are two major parts. One of them is buying proper clicks. The second one is to make sure nothing prevents this proper related lead to go through checkout. Technically, visually, from user experience perspective, there is no like 10 rules or 20 rules because again, like jewelry website, one story, furniture website is another story. What we do is actually to make sure that technically website is perfect, that Google will see that it's fast enough, that the HTML tags are on the proper place. I'm speaking about basics, but I often see websites that have those basics in a bad shape. So this is the first thing we do, making sure the markup is proper, making sure the website is fast enough, and making sure it's tested properly so people never get these errors and mistakes during the checkout flow, and actually, yeah, getting this experience. This is our key work. Another part is actually building the administration and moderation flows properly. So building a lot of integrations to optimize performance of the back office for the e-commerce, and as well as implementing the front end features user experience wise, and then implementing it to work as they should on mobile first, as we see for most of the projects, not maybe for B2B, but again, like for B2C, everything now is mostly mobile first. That's
True.
our work. That's what we do. So our work is to make sure more qualified leads enter the website will convert into the customer, and most probably the returning customer if the idea of the business foresees the returning customer.
Do you see that being mobile first is a mandatory thing? Right.
I think yes. I think yes, because it's my experience. I'm using e-commerce and also US stores, EU stores, Ukrainian stores that are actually Ukrainian stores are in very good shape compared
Hmm.
to many Europeans. So I have that good experience and I analyze what I do like a buyer. And I think
Nice.
that when I want to save more money, I would go from mobile to desktop because I would easier analyze competitors, I would find the better price and so on. So when I'm building a website, I don't want the customer to switch from mobile to desktop because they would probably try to find a cheaper alternative then our client can
That's
offer.
100% true.
So people who entered on the mobile should have zero doubts that they should pass the checkout entirely. That's the plan.
That's 100% true. Whenever I'm into like a big purchase and I need to buy something from AliExpress, for example, I go to desktop. I don't go to mobile because I'm gonna be looking for different prices. I'm gonna be looking for different vendors inside of the AliExpress first. Maybe, oh, okay, AliExpress doesn't have this product. So let me go to another Chinese marketplace that might have the product. So it is definitely true what you're saying about. And we all know, especially the newer generations, they don't even have a desktop anymore to navigate into. They don't even, I have friends in their 19 years old that don't know how to use a computer, but they know very much how to use a smartphone. For me, that's kind of wild because when I was growing up, computer was something so new. Windows 2000 was my first experience down the line, even to this day. So I don't see myself in a world where I would spend most of my digital journey in a smartphone, right?
Mhm.
But I would always prefer having a nice set of a desktop or a laptop, which is not the case anymore, as we are just now
Yeah.
talking. It's not the case anymore. Going a little bit deeper into this, any right tech stacks that you recommend when you're developing a new store, a new website, especially talking about mobile friendly and mobile first? Or do you just understand first what the company is and then you try and come up with a new tech stack all the time?
Our tech stack is actually, let's say, limited to Shopify, Magento, and BigCommerce projects. But
Hmm.
when we speak about BigCommerce and Shopify, they have the possibility to be headless and build your experience using various frameworks. I saw a lot, like I saw the combination of PHP Laravel framework together with Shopify, like a headless. I saw maybe hundreds of like implementations using React.js, Vue.js front end with BigCommerce or Shopify behind. I would say that though I want to have more work, potentially get some leads from this interview, but I wouldn't be the one who will oversell the technical stack because again, like 90% of our profit due in 2024 comes from the clients that are with us since 2023. So we properly earn money working long term. And to
Hmm.
work long term for some e-commerce business, we need to make sure that they're profitable. So that's why I would be the one that will postpone additional technical features on the website or the very difficult implementation, the headless implementation with many features. Because if it's few features, then headless can go smoothly and fast. I would be the one that, let's say, like concentrate more on sales. Let's fine tune what you have today and then we'll invest more because I want to work for you in 6 and 12 months and it requires you to be profitable all the time. So not over engineer. Again, if you have the apparel brand, go with Shopify like on the second level plan, the Shopify plan, and it would be mostly fine. As soon as you don't need that difficult 360 views like 3D models site wide, like build that business, start selling, and then when we have time, we could either migrate to much more complex implementation of Shopify, or if we see that you need to dig deeply into the code, then we will go with Adobe Commerce or Adobe open source. And but when we have that time.
And what about AI, Anton? Because in a weekly basis, I see some ads about create your own website through AI in 5 minutes. And we know that this has a lot of limitations. We know it's not the best. We know it's very much still undercooked, but being developed to become something bigger in the future. How are you leveraging AI right now? How are you using it? And let me ask you this as well. Do you already see some leads coming to you and saying, "Hey, Anton, I love what you said, but I can just use AI for everything, so thank you. I'm not gonna do business with you." Is this something that's going on already?
I think that maybe it's a good story that they wouldn't do business at this point with us because we have like 30% leads that had an interview with us, then hired somebody else, and then come back to us.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, they are like I seen. It's nice seeing you are coming back because they got that wrong experience and they value the expertise more. I think that when we speak about implementing the website with AI, we understand that today the e-commerce and the retail itself is a very high competitive. So to start from scratch, you need to invest in a product. You need to invest in the marketing, in the team, and when you already invested hundreds thousands of dollars, then let's say you not so care about investing 10, 5, 10, $15,000 into a properly built website, let's say minimalistic one, that will help you to grow further. Because if somebody didn't invest that dozens of thousands euros or whatever, and they wouldn't need that high professional website, in my point.
Mm,
That's from my story. When some blog or some very niche website doesn't require all that customer,ness, it's okay to go with that approach, but it's also okay
true.
to go with Shopify and pay for plan $30 and to buy a theme for $100, and you also get the website. Don't see that huge value to use AI in terms of development, in
I
terms
see.
of analysis of situation, in terms of preparing some content, not so valuable part of the content. It will, let's say, it will be okay using AI in that regard.
I
It's my
see.
point of view.
I see, and it's a good point of view. Coming back to you being a boutique agency, what are the markets that you like to work with the most, or what are the markets that are looking for you the most?
I would say about United States and European countries. So UK and EU countries, I don't like splitting them, but it's the situation. We worked with around 5 to 10 projects from Australia, but the difference with time zones and let's say that were not so big projects so that they can wait for, they can avoid a tight relation to the time zone often calls. So this doesn't help. But UK and US are the main markets because of the English language. We are English language first.
True.
We have people speaking a bit of German, a bit of French, but let's say it doesn't, and all our content is made in English. So people are easier finding us using English. And my
And
English is not perfect. I'm a technical person.
no, but it is good.
I learned it like a foreign language. So yeah,
I mean, it's your second language. It's my second language as well. At the end of the day,
it's actually the third one because from Ukraine we usually speak at least 2 languages already. So
true.
it's the third one, and the German, the basic of German, is the fourth one. But yeah, the idea with business is what content we produce. Being if we were the larger agency, then we can produce content in
Hmm.
different languages. But yeah, English first, but it doesn't create issues cooperating with Northern Europe and German-speaking countries because they are very good in English too,
In
usually.
English, yes, I
Yes,
agree.
yes.
No, I agree. I 100% agree. That you didn't mention, and of course you didn't mention because of the language itself. South America, for example, is not a market then that you're operating very strongly at. Is that it?
Yeah, we had up to 3 or 4 projects with Magento from South
Hmm.
America, exactly from Brazil. They are like strong, medium-sized businesses
Hmm.
because, let's say, I think due to economy-wise, less small businesses in South America require the complex Magento websites or so. But that's our key strength. Like we are working on complex solutions there.
I see. I see. Talking about South America, but not about South America, but I always, whenever I think back home, I think of betting,
Okay.
crypto, and football, right? The three things I think they're the most hot things in Brazil right now. And knowing the European market by heart, I know that cryptocurrency payment is something that's becoming very strong here. I was in Dubai a few weeks ago to Sigma, which is a very big crypto and
Mhm.
iGaming event. And a lot of people over there were asking for payment providing systems in regards to cryptocurrencies. And I know that some websites are now looking to enable payment through crypto. Is this something that you really see that is influencing the market and making a change and making a dent? Or are we talking mostly about a niche need that some companies do and some others don't even bat an eye looking at?
I would think it's for the niche. That's first. The second one is that we have implemented this for 3 companies when we
Hmm.
were working not for the e-commerce business, but we were working for the cryptocurrency providing solutions. And we have implemented a set of extensions for them, for Magento, for WooCommerce, for PrestaShop. So we learned the API. We developed the first one for Magento usually, and
Hmm.
then developed a series of other ones because then it becomes easier as soon as you understand all the API flow. From my point of view, I don't anticipate this to be the big, let's say, I can't anticipate many people want to buy a t-shirt or like a set of apparel for 100 euro and willing to pay in crypto.
Crypto. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't either.
let's say a lot. But again, it's speak about the niche. Because if your website in some niche that is, let's say, for more for geeks or more for looking some way for gray area of the business, then providing this ability to pay with crypto would be a good
Good
way.
thing to have, right?
Additional value. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
depends on the niche. From my point of view, I can't anticipate this because to be very popular. Because when the Google Pay and Google Wallet and Apple Pay have appeared, then buying online using your wallet is very comfortable. Oh, and it's rather safe.
And I prefer using it than putting my credit card all the
Sure.
time in a new website. If there is an Apple Pay, I
Yeah.
just go for it. It's the
Yeah.
best for me as well.
It's like when it was buying at eBay or wherever in the US when when you were using PayPal. So it's like you are protected for 30 days or 45 days, and like you care not so much about particular. I mean, I don't speak about thousands, but
Hmm.
when you speak about $100, you are using PayPal. In a worst case, you send a complaint, and if you're a reputable user, then you will get a refund, no issues.
True.
So it's not an issue. The same for Google Pay and Apple Pay. You need only to care like if website is definitely looking like a scam and they temporarily have that access to Apple Pay, then okay, just avoid doing it
Hmm.
because you should also care. But at least your card wouldn't be stolen if you didn't enter its details before. So that's my vision. I mean, people are lazy. People are even more lazy because of ChatGPT. In terms of payments, Apple Pay and Google Pay makes things easier for lazy
It
payments.
does. It's sometimes it's okay to be lazy, right?
I think people are tending to be lazy. All the progress is based on the laziness.
True. Because that's when the smart things start happening. And that's when we come
Yeah.
up with better solutions. Now, okay, so my last question to you, let's continue down the lazy route. What do you expect that the lazy people will come up in the near future in regards to e-commerce, in regards to everything that we've been talking to, that can deeply change the environment itself?
I am not a big visionary, especially I couldn't anticipate such strong language models as ChatGPT to appear. But I think the tendency, I can think that the tendency of free shipping, free return, free everything may collapse a bit
Hmm.
because of some, let's say, bad forecasting for economy during next years due to unstable USA, let's say.
True.
But I think that as soon as big players on the market will decide to cut their costs, removing that free everything, because like there is no free, we understand that somebody is paying for it.
True.
So for free return, the one who pays is the one who didn't return. And I think that this tendency can change a bit. And it means that people should think a bit more about purchasing something with potential return. And I think so. I anticipate this for happening, and it will start not from customers, but it will start from major retailers. And customers should adapt. That's my point of view. Because otherwise, in some kind of depression, economical depression, retailers will need to increase prices more.
True.
So, and I think customers will feel that pressure that either I go to the one who is 10% with higher price tag, or I go to this one because I'm most probably fine with this t-shirt and basic things, but I pay 10% more. And in the worst case, I will need to return part of that saved money for return of the thing. That's the thing that I have in my mind. Nothing global, but again, when major retailers will start doing it, I think it will change market a bit. And I understand that Amazon has built all their reputation for customers, but it's awful for sellers, for small and medium sellers on Amazon. They like free everything, free shipping, free whatever. And if somebody has returned your item, then there are like fines, tariffs, and so on. So I think that there would be some kind of stabilization. And again, maybe even the state will apply some regulation, because we see Temu, the Chinese company, has recently entered the Ukraine market, and it's very aggressive. It's very aggressive because they actually don't earn during first years, and they have that bunch of money to invest and to like put away other players, AliExpress in the first order, and they don't care about it. So it's like counter-economical behavior. And I think that some regulation of the local authorities or the European authorities will happen, as we see with what Trump is issuing in the United States. I don't want to say it's good or bad, like it's just in a real business. We are speaking about things that really happen today or will mostly happen soon. So we see that they are trying to apply these protective measures. And I think this will change a bit the market soon.
That's 100% true. Back in Brazil last year, this happened. The government put some taxes for AliExpress to incentivize the population to buy local, to purchase local, so that the local economy grows. But the thing is, Brazil was already too much dependent on AliExpress, Temu, Shein, for example, to buy clothes. So it was, you see, I understand and I agree, but it has to be done in a way where at least the population will agree with it at the end of the day as well.
Yeah.
The mass will agree with it. Now, Anton, we're already super late to let you away, and I apologize for so.
No problem.
But my last question and we'll be over. For those that are now looking to start their own e-commerce, no matter the industry, no matter the product, do you have a advice that you can give them? A very streamlined advice that it fits them all, maybe to save them time or to save them money, or even better, to save them some hassles in the near future while applying and starting their own business?
I think the first one would be in most cases. 3 years ago, I would say in 80% cases. Today, I would say 95% case, you should go with Shopify. Most probably, you don't need complex technical solutions at the first stage. The time to market becomes much lower with Shopify, but you need to keep an eye over competitors and over colleagues, what they are doing. And you will definitely need to invest. But again, like you shouldn't, if you're a startup, if you're a small business, then don't invest into technical side of things unless it's very crucial for your product. So that's my idea. And then start selling stably, understand what you technically need, and then come to us to implement the more difficult way. Again, like we have, unfortunately, during 10 years, we've implemented a lot of projects, technically perfect, but without proper marketing strategy. We got paid for our work, it's fine, but I can't put them like a case because they don't unfortunately exist anymore because they didn't have the proper marketing and sales strategy. They were very oriented on technical side of things, which we implemented flawlessly. And I would want to show that business and saying this is successful business. But again, I would rather implement less for such companies, but implement for those who will be on the market during years, and we would grow together.
That's it. Powerful words, and I agree with all of them. Anton, thank you so much for being in the show. Thank you so much for sharing your story, how you see website development, how you understand that it's not only about throwing a lot of money at first and making sure you have the cool stuff. First, you need to be profitable, as you said. Let's make sure that you're selling your product to them applying better and more fancier solutions down the line. Not everybody needs AI right now. Not every company or website needs to have an AI
True.
button right now. First, let's make sure that we have a good customer experience, a good customer retention, that the product itself sells, and then later we can talk about the other things, right?
Correct.
That's it.
Thank you for your time and thank you for the invitation.
No, of course. For everyone else who's been watching us, you have all of Anton's links down the description below. Do check out his website and his profile. We just met the man. We understand how calm and peaceful we can be while talking to him. We're not gonna be scammed over having expensive things, but we are now with the help of an engineer to make sure that you're gonna be selling the most that you can out of your own website. Anton, thank you so much for your time. Catch you all up in the next time.
Thank you.